One of the beauties of working in today's hyper-connected world is we have the ability to work with people from around the globe. Jump on a Zoom call and suddenly you may be talking with someone from another country. However, if you find yourself managing a team of people whom you've never met with in person before and they reside in a different country, well, things can get a bit tricky. You might start wondering, how exactly can I do this? What if I don't understand their language? How can I manage well? In this video, I'm going to share with you how you can get into a leadership mindset so you can feel confident managing a global team. First, acknowledge there will be challenges out of your control. This includes language barriers and instances of miscommunications. When this happens, don't take it personally, but think of it as a challenge that can be learned and improved. In fact, that is the mark of a great leader. It's the ability to adapt and grow, because the truth is, we can't control every little thing, especially if we are working remote. But we can respond and troubleshoot to make sure others know we're present and we care. The second tip to getting into a leadership mindset is accepting that feeling unsure of how things are going to go is natural. While you may get nervous with feelings like imposter syndrome, wondering whether people will actually listen to you, and getting people to do the work effectively, the truth is, uncertainty is part of any person's job, regardless of rank or title. The key with managing a global team is prioritizing, preparing, and always communicating. And third, work on reducing any limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are negative thoughts we tell ourselves that can sabotage our ability to move forward and be more action-driven. For example, if you catch yourself saying these phrases, "I don't know enough," "I can't do it," or "I am not ready to manage a global team," I challenge you to reframe it into a question. For example, you can say instead, "What can I do today to learn more? What can I do to improve the situation? And what can I do better to prepare?" The key is to reframe your thinking so it's more action-driven. And fourth, know that feeling confident can only be achieved through experience. Whether you are just beginning to manage a global team or you have done it for years, studies have shown that confidence grows as long as you continue doing the work. This is great news because if you are feeling uncertain, well, you have the ability to change that feeling as well. In the end, developing the confidence to manage a global team requires having a positive and action-driven mindset. In the following videos, I will be sharing more tactical strategies on how you can manage a global team, including building cultural awareness. Feeling confident managing a global team requires getting into a global mindset. The next step is expanding your awareness by understanding cultural nuances. In this video, I'm going to highlight 3 areas you'll want to consider. First, how do people in a particular culture greet each other? In some cultures, a peck on the cheek is common. In another culture, a firm handshake is expected. However, when working virtually, well, these nonverbal cues disappear. So how do you manage this? A good rule of thumb is to go with what you are comfortable with, especially if you are the one managing the team. If you are leading the meeting, you can set the stage for how you want everyone to greet each other. So this can mean starting off the first few minutes of a meeting with small talk because you would like everyone on the team to get to know each other beyond just what they do. As a manager, you have control over this, so be sure to communicate it. Second, be mindful of what is considered taboo in certain cultures. For example, in Thailand, using your foot to point to something is highly offensive. In Chinese culture, the number 4 is considered bad luck, while in the United States, the number 13 is often avoided. Being aware of these nuances can make a difference in how you show up and lead. While sometimes what's considered taboo isn't always a surefire thing to avoid, sometimes just knowing these things will also prevent you from being surprised, especially if someone voices their concerns about it. In addition, bringing up things like politics can also be tricky. This is especially true if your team consists of people from multiple countries. People may not be in tune with what's going on in another part of the world and can feel excluded from the conversation. So the key is to reserve conversations with a global team to topics everyone can understand and relate to. Third, being willing to ask for feedback. For example, asking someone from another culture to give you feedback is an excellent way to foster cultural awareness and showcase your open-mindedness. If you are ever unsure of how something will come across, just ask. Chances are the other side will appreciate your willingness to learn, adapt, and improve. In the end, as a global manager, it is incredibly important to build cultural awareness. The key here is build. That's because while we may know our own culture very well, it does take time to build awareness for other people's culture. Now, the truth is, sometimes we will get it wrong, and that's okay. We just have to apologize and let others know that it was a genuine mistake. But doing the homework to equip ourselves with the right information is how we can lead effectively. Managing a global team takes effort. It also takes great organizational skills. So in this video, I'm going to share some best practices so you can effectively engage and lead a global team. The first is getting comfortable delegating. As an individual contributor, you might have been comfortable doing everything yourself. And for the most part, you are probably pretty good at it because you are now in a manager role. However, the key to managing is trusting your team and trusting that they will get the job done. This does require letting go and not micromanaging. Now, if you are concerned things will fall through the cracks because everyone is, well, everywhere, that's when communicating is key. But many people ask, what's the difference between micromanaging and over-communicating? The key difference is in your approach. Micromanaging often feels accusatory, harsh, and oppressive. Over-communicating feels vision-driven, inclusive, and conversational. I will share more communication tips in the Working Styles in a Global Workplace video. The second is to carve out one-on-one time to get to know everyone on your team. Managing a global team is knowing how every single person behaves and communicates. Because the truth is, how a person interacts in a group setting is different when interacting one-on-one. As a great manager, it is important for you to engage with each person on your team in both environments. This is especially useful if some members on your team tend to be on the quieter side. So, be sure to carve out one-on-one time to understand each person's motivation, interests, and aspirations. Building a relationship with each person on your team is how you can build engagement and improve team morale. Third, managing a global team means embracing and welcoming differences in opinions and ideas. In fact, this is where leading with emotional intelligence is key. What does this mean? Well, you'll want to hone in on both your social awareness and self-awareness. As a manager, be sure to create the environment where people will feel comfortable sharing their unique perspectives. Make sure to actively listen as well. If things don't go the way you expect, don't take any criticisms personally. In a work environment, it's crucial to see any friction as an opportunity to reiterate shared goals. Managing and engaging a global team means taking a bird's eye view of the differences in dynamics. It's observing the team as a whole, as well as on an individual level. Delegating, building relationships, and reiterating shared goals is how you can effectively lead a team.